Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a full Fender PPF install on this BMW we have. So we're doing a full front on this car, which is the front bumper, the hood, the headlights, the two front fenders, and then the side mirrors as well. Everything else is pretty much already done. I saved this for last just to kind of show you, because I'm sure a lot of you don't know how PPF is installed. Basically, to sum it up real quick, it's installed with soapy water, and then we have a tack solution, which is just a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and mostly water. Soapy water is going to allow the film to glide on the surface so we can position it in the place we want it to be, and then the tack is going to help it grab when we want it to. So this panel's been fully prepped. It's already been washed, clay barred, and I went around the edges and got all the dirt off. So just going to spray this down real quick and give it one last final squeegee, go grab the pattern, and I'll meet back with you right here. All right, so I'm coming back over with the film. Going to get this placed on and start moving. Try not to hit anything with it, of course. Don't want to get any dirt on it. Alrighty. So the first place we're going to start is going to be this top corner up here. This is a pattern. It's cut out on a plotter, so you're going to tack in a couple different places. It'd be a little different if it was bulk, but with a pattern you can just start in one corner and move to the next and kind of get everything spread out where it needs to go. So again, we just put some tack up here to make sure this corner stays stuck, because we don't want this moving anymore. Get that all squeegeed out. Alrighty. So our first stretch is going to be to bring the film, because this corner you can't see it, but this corner isn't far enough to where it needs to be. So our first stretch is going to be bringing all the film this way, and then we'll worry about that bottom corner. So we'll get our tack, put a little bit more in here. We're going to stretch it to where it needs to go and squeegee it down. Looks pretty good. All right. And then our last stretch is going to be to bring all of it down right here, but I'm actually going to go ahead and squeegee out this whole top section, because this doesn't really need hardly any stretch. It just needs to move a little bit that way. So there's no point to really stretch all of this film. It really just needs to be this bottom part. So I'm going to spray the rest of this down, get this squeegeed out, then we'll move on to that bottom section. Oops. With PPF, a lot of times you just run your hand over it like this. You'll get most of these air bubbles out, and a lot of the water out as well. Just makes it easier to squeegee. Shoot a tiny bit of tack in over here. There's a super small finger. And continue squeegeeing this out. Really want to make sure you squeegee body lines really nicely, because that's the one spot where water will get left behind. Is typically going to be a body line. All right, so I shifted the whole area over just a little bit, and now we're going to go right back to what we were doing. Spray a little slip in case this is drying up, and we are just going to tack down this bottom portion. I want it to be right about there. All right, so I got everything scoot over where I want it to be. So now we're just gonna feed this area in, because we don't really need to stretch it down at this point. So we're just gonna get this corner down, and then the rest will just kind of fall into place here. Just bring it all straight down. Shoot a little tack in here to get this to stick. Smaller squeegee and really get in there. There we go. And last but not least, this little area right here. This one does need a little tiny stretch, so we'll put a little bit of tack in and get that taken care of. There's actually a little dirt particle right here, so I'm just gonna massage that out of the film. There we go. And it's gone, just like that. So one good thing about PPF, it's very easy to get any little dirt or hair particles out. Much easier than something like window tint is. All right, shoot a little tack. There's a little finger popping up down here. Sit that down before we move on. Perfect. All right, so now with the whole fender squeegeed out, we're just gonna go around with our tack solution. We're gonna flush all of the soapy water out of these edges. This will make the drying process much faster because we need to eventually come back here with the heat gun and wrap all these edges around the paint. Might need to get a little refill. This bottle's getting a little empty. This top edge we're actually going to trim back a little because this is a lot of extra film. It doesn't need to be that long. Patterns can't be perfect. That's why we trim it ourselves sometimes. And last but not least, this back edge. And then we're going to do what's called a press and hold, which is just when you press on this, go around the edge, and then kind of hold it there a little bit, and that'll allow the film to start wrapping around the edge prior to when we come back and do our final wrap around the edge. This will prevent, because if you leave the film where it is now and you come back to wrap the edge later, a lot of times there'll be like a little air line going across, so we want to get them started wrapping now so that if an airline does go across, it's on the inside of the fender and you won't see it, compared to being right on the outside and in front of your face the whole time. That wouldn't be good. We're just going to go the whole length of the fender, do this. And after this is done, that's it for right now. We're going to leave this fender to sit for about an hour or so, because you can't wrap these edges now because it's wet. There's a lot of liquid on it. But in about an hour or so, since we sprayed the isopropyl alcohol, that'll all be dried out and we'll be good to come back and wrap all of these edges around. All right, so that's about it. We're gonna let it sit for about an hour. We'll come back and wrap all of these edges.